The show is about to start. Places. The show is about to start. You have to show a look, have a look, or give a look. Faces. Beautiful. No one ugly allowed. Are you ready? Here we go. Fashion is the art. Designers are the gods. Models play the part of angels in the dark. Which one of you would ever dare to go against? That beauty is a trade and everyone is paid. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? New York, London, Paris, Milan, Tokyo. I think it's in Japan. Asia, Malaysia, Las Vegas to play. LA, if you pay my way. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look?
All the elements, a symbol of excellence. Shining, she is so flawless, incredible illusionist. Miss Gay America. Miss Gay America. America. The best of the best. America. She is beauty, she is grace. America. Perfect in every way. Miss Gay America.
Good evening, everyone. It is me, Miss Morgan, your Miss Gay Pennsylvania America 2023. Welcome tonight to Let's Get Down to Excellence. I'm so excited to get into another round of fabulous queens that are competing for the title of Miss Gay Pennsylvania America 2024. If you haven't done it yet, please hit that share button. I always say the more people we bring in, the more people that start to love the America system and support this fabulous community that we have. So tonight we have 4 great contestants that we're going to talk to this evening. But before we do that, I just want to go through a couple things and remind you of what's going on with Pennsylvania. We have a website called www.missgaypennsylvaniaamerica.com. And I think if I remember correctly, I might have something that can remind you throughout the show tonight. But definitely check out our website. There's a lot of things going on there. You can check out our merch. There's merch that's on the website right now if you want to buy them. We have t-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hats, we have everything galore. So check that out to just get your swag. Also, if you want to mark down in your calendars, November's coming right around the corner. November 15th is the review show. It's the former review show in Pottstown. It's at the Rivet, which is a fabulous event. So get your tickets now because there are limited seating and we want you all to join in on the fun. Also, the next day, which is the monstrous huge day of fabulousness, we have 14 amazing contestants competing for the Miss Gay America pageant, Pennsylvania pageant, and I will be stepping down, and you're not going to want to miss what I have in store for you that night. So November 16th, get your tickets now because they are going fast too. Also, I will have the contestants go through it as well, but we are also doing the People's Choice Award. You can check that out at guess where? The MissGayPennsylvaniaAmerica.com website, where the viewers get to choose your contestant. But what happens is that half that money that's donated will go towards the Pennsylvania system, as well as the other half will go to the contestants' charity of choice, which will go through the 4 contestants this evening and what charities they were looking forward to donating to. But without further ado, I just want to dive in tonight and get to know these contestants just a little bit more and just have a little bit of fun. Why not let our hair down just a little bit? So first, let's bring in the fabulous, the fierce. We have the Miss Gay Harrisburg America first alternate. Put your hands together for Eileen O'Brennan. Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I love that you already are wearing the swag tonight. You already represent PA fabulously. Do you want to say hi to everybody real quick and just tell them a little about yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Tommy, aka Eileen O'Brennan. I am the Miss Gay Harrisburg America first alternate. My favorite breakfast meat is pork roll, and during COVID, I bought a $6,000 paperweight.
Oh, excuse me, a $6,000 paperweight?
Paperweight, $6,000.
Okay. All right. I love that. It's a nice investment. I love it.
Mhm.
All right. Up next, we have the fabulous, the fierce Miss Gay NEPA America. Put your hands together for Trixie DeFlair.
Hi, good morning. How are ya?
Trixie. Good morning.
Listen, I have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just prepping for bed.
I love that. I love that for you. Are you there?
Yeah. Am I frozen?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on. Let me remove you and I'll put you back on.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry at all.
Let's try that again.
The woman behind the curtain. I love it so much. Very mysterious of you. Well, while you're doing that, Trixie, I will come back to you. I'm going to bring the next contestant out, okay?
Okay.
All right, just keep working on it. If not, we just love listening to your voice. Up next, we have Miss Gay Central PA America 2024, Miss Anita Dixon. Put your hands together. Hello, Angel. How are you?
I'm doing well tonight. How is everyone doing tonight?
We're doing amazing, and I
Great.
know the contestants are excited, or the viewers are excited to see you as well. Do you just want to introduce yourself real quick and just say a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is David Kern, or AKA Anita Dixon. I am your Miss Gay Central Pennsylvania America 2024. And a little unknown fact is that this is my 25th year in drag.
Not 25 years. That is fabulous. And you don't look a day over 25. It's very interesting how that worked.
Lots of work.
Trixie, can you hear me real quick?
Yes.
Why don't you, can you sign out for me real quick and sign back in and see if we can
Yep.
log on that way? And also, we do have another contestant. It's Miss Gay Central PA America, first alternate. Her name is Alanis Morsex, and she'll be joining us in just a little bit. So I can't wait to have everybody meet her and tell her fun, fabulous story too. But in the meantime, why don't we just say hello to the two fabulous queens that we have before us. Eileen, can you do me a huge favor while we're waiting for Trixie? Can you just talk a little bit about the merch that you have behind you?
Oh, sure. Yes. So I have worked with the state too. It's a little blurry, but we have a merch line we have t-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hats, we have Stanley toppers.
How much are the Stanley toppers for the kids at home?
They're $12.
That's it?
That's it. $12.
Oh, I'm scooping one of those
Right?
up for the day up.
And we make them for 30 ounces or 40 ounces,
That's
depending
really
if you're
cool.
a dainty drinker or a large drinker.
Can you do me a huge favor as well? Can you talk about your website real quick too? Because a part of what you do is you definitely make some great merch for the America system. But I'd like for you to quickly just mention
Talk
your.
about that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you go on Google, it is SnydersShoreStore.com. It is a website that all the things are on there that I make. I make acrylic earrings. I make car coasters. I make door signs. I make slate coasters, charcuterie boards, all kinds of different things. So if you need a Christmas gift, be sure to hit it there and check it out.
So basically, if they want something, just message you.
Yep.
Anything.
Basically
Okay.
anything, almost anything.
All right. Now I see a cute little angel at the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Hello, darling. Now we have right before you Miss Gay NEPA America 2024, Miss Trixie DeFlair. Trixie, did you want to say hi to everybody real quick and just a quick little thing about you?
Hi, I've been sitting in my boudoir, having 8 glasses of water because I'm being responsible tonight. If you don't understand that reference, watch The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo on YouTube. You won't regret it. But yeah, I am Andrew. I work at Lowe's currently. Yeah, so if you need anything on sale, gotcha.
I love that so much. Now, the three of you, are you able to see, real quick before we dive in, are you able to see the comments?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not able to see the comments. So if you're able to see the comments and there's questions, can you let me know? So then this way we can answer some questions tonight too, because this is something I don't ever get to do because I don't get to see the comments. So I wanted to try to integrate that in tonight. That
Absolutely.
means viewers, if you have questions, please ask him. So why don't we go around right now? Like I said, we are waiting for one more contestant, but she is just doing the great things this evening, and she will be joining us. But in the meantime, why don't we just jump in? What I wanted to do first is talk about something exciting, which is obviously the date of pageant, and which is on November 16th, and you can get your tickets now on the website below. And what I would love to do is if we could just go around and just talk about the category you're most excited for and why. Is that something you guys are cool with doing?
Absolutely.
All right, why don't we do it where, Eileen, do you mind starting just because we'll just go in the circle of how we started?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So my favorite category is presentation, and we're not doing it.
We're not. So then what?
We're
So
not.
if you had a second favorite,
All right, my second favorite would be gown. I just love being beautiful in my fabulous gown, having the jewelry there, beautiful, polished hair in place. It's
I love
just
that. You know, I kind of want to go back real quick because I don't want to take away from it. So you love presentation. Can you tell me why you love the presentation portion?
because I think that every person, you could give everybody the same what's the word I want to use? The same, yes, we'll go with that. The same dossier, and I
So
would come up.
for those who don't have a dictionary, what is a dossier?
Basically, it's a list or a concept of an idea that they put into like a sheet, like a one pager, to
Okay.
say this is what we're looking for.
Okay.
See, we always learn something.
Today was that one.
Yeah, so if you gave us Pink Lady,
Mhm.
I would come out as a Pink Lady apple.
Ooh.
So you like the idea of kind of just like creating a concept from something that's given, like you like an idea and you flourish on it in your own vision, and you like to see what other people do. I do agree. I love that. So when all of us go to America this year, you'll get to do it. I know because 10%, and when everyone gets to the America stage in Little Rock this year, it's 10% is the presentation. So I agree, like, because McAllis too, that's the theme. So it's kind of fun to kind of, yeah, you actually have a little bit more free reign with that idea too. So there's a lot you can do with that. You can still come as a Pink Lady Apple if you want to.
Good.
Fine. Go
I
walk
think
around.
You should wear that for gown.
A Pink Lady apple sounds great.
Sisters helping each other already. I love that. I love that
Absolutely.
so much.
Welcome.
Spirit
Yeah.
Halloween will have their 50% off sale. I'm ready to go.
All right, Trixie, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What is the category that you're most excited about and why?
Normally, I hated this category, but I found like a new love for it this year. And interview,
Okay.
personal interview. I think I finally cracked the code for myself to not have the nerves like I normally do.
Okay. Is there any fun facts you want to say about interview? Like something successful that you found for yourself that you can tell the viewers? Like nothing specifically maybe about like what you talk about, but maybe something that like you find works for you that maybe you didn't have that before.
It's just it. I finally realized like it's just a conversation. Like it's not. Don't think about what they want you to say. You're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, then why are you doing it?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Just a little fun fact that I always like to mention with personal interview is one, be your authentic self. Wear your authentic self. And what's great about this year is you can be a little bit more liberal with what you're wearing, which I think is absolutely fabulous. Just don't wear something screaming that it's going to distract the judges from what you're saying and they're looking at what you're wearing. But also, I always like to mention, give that little 20-second fun facts about yourself in a little intro when they say, please talk about yourself, because this is what is going to lay the groundwork for what you want to talk about in your personal interview. So I just like to mention that. So, and I love to talk too, so I like personal interview too. Anita, my darling, what is a category that you're excited for and why?
So I was thinking about this, a little bit in my brain, and I am actually really excited for talent this year. Um, Usually I would be along the same line as Trixie. I've really love interview or on stage question a lot, because that is a chance for me to get, like, for everyone to get to know me.
Mhm.
But this year I'm really excited for talent, just because I worked on this talent and created it about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's been sitting there waiting for the perfect time to be brought out. And so putting it all together, creating having the costumes created, having the backdrop, like all the things, like, has been really great, because it's been able to bring forth my creative juices, my creative energy.
I love that. I think that's the biggest part about it too, is like everyone knows how to perform on a stage. It's about like just finding your inner love of what your craft is and putting it on the stage too, right? Like, so
Mhm.
I love that, and I'm excited that you're pumped about it too,
Mhm.
and I'm excited because I don't have to do anything. I just get to sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
So, but actually, perfect timing, because we have one more contestant that I'd love to hear about their categories. They're here now, and I would love to bring them on. Put your hands together. I love her so much. Miss Gay Central PA First Alternate Alana Morsex. Hello, Angel.
Hi everyone. So sorry I'm late.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you were super duper busy, and that I asked you to come on the episode the very last minute as well. So I do appreciate that. So I would love for you to introduce yourself and just say a little bit about yourself. What I would love to do is, if you feel comfortable, just kind of explaining your situation right now with the pageant.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Alanis Morsex. I have been doing drag for about 2 years now. Actually, next month will be my 2 year drag anniversary. And yeah, I'm out of the Harrisburg, Hershey, Lancaster area. And I actually just joined the Miss Gay PA pageant. I was asked last minute because unfortunately one of the other contestants wasn't able to make the pageant. So I was the runner up to the runner up. And I got the call late last week. And I just made the decision. It's 8 o'clock now. So I made the decision yesterday about lunchtime to compete. So yeah.
Well, I think that's absolutely fantastic, and you go, girl, because you know what, you're just jumping in, and I think that just is a tribute to who you are, and don't forget, I know a young lady who had 5 weeks to get ready for the Miss Gay Pennsylvania pageant and came in second place, first alternate, and went to nationals that year and came in sixth place. So I'm just saying anything can happen. So
Absolutely.
I don't know who that girl is, but
Yeah.
she's a nice lady.
That's fair.
So what we're talking about now, I'm just going to catch you up to speed. We just got started, and I wanted to go around and have everyone say a category that they're most excited for and why.
Absolutely. So for me, again, this is actually only going to be my second pageant technically, because obviously competing with Anita for Miss Gay Central PA, this is going to be my second pageant altogether. But for me, it's honestly talent. I don't know. I love being able to, no matter if I'm in drag or out of drag, I love putting on a show. I love performing. I do musical theater, so I love being on stage and just having fun with the audience. And for me, talent is a way to show off who I am. Whereas the gown and the question is also a great way, but for me, music speaks volumes. And I think for me, it's being able to put that out for everyone and letting everyone see who I am through that.
I love that. I love that. Yep. Always putting yourself on stage, and I love that. I think that if that's the biggest take home, is that It's that I say it all the time repetitively, be your authentic self and just let that, and you'll shine the most. So why don't we shift gears and go in the other direction and talk about maybe a category that you're kind of about, that you're kind of making sure that you're going to dot your I's and cross your T's for. If everyone's cool with that, I would love to go in the other direction and go to Trixie, and we'll work our way around if that's cool.
Sure. As much as I just said I love talking about myself, on stage question, because there's so many more people, I don't really care to do public speaking, which is why that's like my least favorite.
Okay. And so have you done anything to try and or to prepare for that? Like, have you gone through questions and things like that?
I have had multiple people give me questions. I've given other people questions on their journey to another state level. So we've definitely had our
Practices.
Good.
I think that's great, and that's my biggest advice is just whenever, wherever, however, that practicing will help, and it helps kind of get rid of some of the nerves too. Not all of them, but some of them too. So I love it. Cool. Anita, how about you, love?
Sure. One of my dreaded category that I always have problems with is evening gown. Actually, I can, when it comes to like wearing a gown and showing off, like when I am in my zone and I'm performing or I'm walking around, I have no problem with evening gown. As soon as you put me up on a stage for evening gown, I am just like, I either become wacky, inflatable, flailing tube man, or I become stiff as a board. So I've been really practicing watching other contestants that have done really well in gown, such as Divinity Cruz. She is phenomenal when it comes to doing gown. So I'm utilizing videos and the interwebs, as you call it, the kids are calling it nowadays, to be able to get a better idea of how gowns should happen, how to relax myself for gown, and also be able to sell the garment.
Sure. And that's the biggest piece too. And just taking those deep breaths and just know that you look beautiful and just enjoy that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always, since we're talking about gown real quick, I always just like to, I'm going to try and add a couple little fun facts. I'm sure, because I know the four of you have watched the episodes after episodes, and I love you all for that. But just for those who are watching, or just a refresher. So with gown, it's at those 3 points, and you have about a minute and a half to walk around the stage, and you have to make sure you hit those 3 points. And it kind of gives you a little bit of that. You could take a deep breath and kind of take your time, meaning if you just take your time on each of those 3 points, that minute and a half should almost be done, and then you can hit your center and your walk. But it's okay if you don't. Just make sure. My suggestion is don't run around the stage, because you get a little lost, and it can get a little distracting to the judges. But just as long as you make sure you hit that upside down triangle, starting with the back and going forward, you can't lose. All right, Eileen, darling.
Yes. So mine would be, I would agree with Trixie, but for a different reason. During the day, I'm a bartender, so I have no problem talking to anybody in a full room of people when you have to babysit 65 to 100 70-year-old men who've had far too many beers. But it is my least favorite because you get asked a question and you have to answer the whole question and interpret it all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you just answer the question but not the why, even though you're not asked the why, you still got to give it to them.
Yeah. And so with that being said too, and I don't know if you kind of mentioned it, that you could get a question that might have 2 parts to it as well. So
Right.
Really listening. And I have to tell myself that too. Like, it's sometimes because when you get nervous up on the stage and then you're looking at the question, you can't even read the words because you're can't even read at that moment.
They're just emojis.
There's just emojis and everything's just shaking. But I agree, like just making sure you're receiving the question and knowing what they're actually asking to then answer it. And usually my suggestion is that when I know what the question is, you go with the whatever your first thought is usually probably the right answer. And so I usually say that right answer first. And if I want to elaborate on that, I do, but at least make sure I get the answer to the question out right off the bat instead of like kind of like building up to it. So they know I answered it, and then you can tag on more if you want to. But I agree. I agree. On-stage question can be very nerve-wracking, but just as long as you have a couple little gems in your back pocket of things that you want to talk about, a lot of times you can steer that answer to what you want to talk about.
Like my paperweight.
Like your paperweight. I think I missed something with the paperweight. I think you've said this to me before, and now I need to know. You spent $6,000 on a paperweight, but what is this paperweight?
You'll have to wait and see.
So if everyone buys tickets down below for November 16th, you'll bring it and put it on the judges' table. I got it.
Absolutely.
Next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then everyone can come over and say hello to it.
You can touch it, pet it.
You can touch and pet it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, I'm trying to figure out what it is. That's 20 questions. So, all right.
Down to 18.
Last but certainly not least, Alanis, I would love to hear a category that maybe you're kind of about that you want to dot your I's and cross your T's to.
Can I say the whole pageant? I think for me, the number one would probably be gown, only because it's so out of my element. I don't wear gowns. I love to feel who I am, and for me, gowns weren't always it, especially in drag. For me, being just I consider myself a baby queen because I'm only 2 years, but it's still trying to find exactly who I am. So for gowns, that's one thing that's always been my Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to, like what Anita was saying, looking at past performers, Divinity is my drag mom. So I've been watching all of her videos of how she walks and how she holds herself,
Mm-hmm.
and the long strides and the pausing at each corner to give people a show, basically to twirl, to be able to show off the hair, the gown, the shoes, the whole 9 yards, and really taking that out of my comfort zone and letting myself adapt to something brand new.
Sure. And it can be nerve-wracking to get outside of the comfort zone, 100%. I love how Anita and you were saying about going on to check things out on the web, right? Because that's the biggest resource. And you could literally just type in Miss Gay America gown.
Yep.
You're going to get a lot. There's a lot of fabulous queens out there that you can watch and just keep watching them until you find. And it's not about not necessarily mirroring someone. It's picking the gems up of things that you see people do to create your own style for yourself.
The chicken
And, what's that?
The chicken nuggets.
It's the chicken nuggets, honey. It's only a 20 piece though, so you got to make sure they're good ones.
No, we'll get a 50 piece.
There's a 50
Oh.
piece now? No.
Yeah, you get a 50 piece bucket.
Well, when I worked at McDonald's many moons ago, they didn't have that.
You only got 3 sauces though.
What's that?
You only get 3 sauces.
This is very true. It's very
Ew.
simple. That's not right. You can have your sauces at home. But also, I just want to tag off real quick about the gown as well, because I think it's very important, because it can be a very nerve-wracking category, because, you know, you kind of envision yourself, you have to be perfect in it because you have that perfect gown on you, you have that perfect hair, perfect jewelry, everything's cohesive. But sometimes when you can take that deep breath and just enjoy that moment because you work so hard to look that beautiful, in a way of meaning like you prepared yourself for it, it's okay to take a deep breath and just let it go and have fun. But also, my other little gem of advice is put that gown on, put the shoes on, put the body on. You don't have to put the hair on or the makeup. Walk around the house. Walk around and do your triangle at the house. I'm going to also send out very soon the minute and a half track that you'll be walking to. So you'll be able to practice that, and you'll be able to practice. You hear the music and kind of feel the vibe, and you'll be able to really prepare yourself before that day. You're not going to hear it that first time on the day of. You're going to hear it a couple weeks before. Which, thinking about it, we're like
A couple weeks out.
a couple weeks. All right, I'm gonna work on it tonight for everybody. I promised it last time, but I will work on it tonight because it's important, because I want everyone to have the opportunity to feel your moment, because it is not just a moment for you to show off the gown, but it's a little bit of production of yourself as well. So we shall do that. So thank you everyone for telling me the goods and the bads categories, right? Is there any category that we didn't talk about? We talked about personal, we talked about on stage, we talked about gown, we talked about talent, and we talked about Eileen's favorite presentation. Perfect. So how about we shift gears again a little bit? And I think number one, for those who are just tuning in or had just tuned in, make sure you hit that share button, because the more people we bring in, the more people we draw into the PA system, and as well as the America system, because it is a fabulous system to be a part of and to also support. In addition to that, if you see below, it's the MissGayPennsylvaniaAmerica.com website, where you can get tickets for the big event on November 16th for the Miss Gay Pennsylvania America 2024 pageant, as well as the night before, which is the former review show at Rivets in Pottstown. Also, Eileen, if you would point to the merch, Eileen has some merch. Am I doing the right way? Eileen has the merch over there. Thanks, you're all the best. And everybody point down to the website. Boom. Hit that website. But
It's like the Brady Bunch.
but also on the website, in addition to the merch and the tickets for the two events, is something very big that we're doing for Pennsylvania right now, which is we have the People's Choice Award, and I just want to continue to talk about it because it's something amazing, because not only are we going to help raise money for the PA system, but we're also going to raise money for a charity of the contestant's choice. And what that means is as the viewers and friends and families and more are checking out the website, your contestant that you want to donate to, you pick the contestant and you donate the money, and that half of that will go towards the PA and half of it will go towards their charity of choice. I would love not to put you on the spot, and it's okay if you don't have one right now. We can always discuss and talk about some right now on the live. But if I could go around and have everybody maybe talk about their charity of choice, that'll be great, because then the viewers have a better idea of something that they might be tagging on to, we'll say. Who wants to go first? Because I don't want to just point someone out.
I will.
Okay. Thanks.
So right now I'm stuck between two. My mother passed away from a brain aneurysm. So it would be going to either the brain aneurysm awareness, or just because I know the one in charge, it would also go to Nurse Morgan Helps, which, I mean, maybe she can elaborate a little bit more on that foundation.
Right. Okay, we can always talk about Nurse Morgan Helps. I can always talk about Nurse Morgan Helps. So there's a charity called Nurse Morgan Helps that raises money and awareness for at-risk youth for the LGBTQIA+ community. And right now, more than ever, there's so many kids out there that need help, or they get caught up. We can even talk about it in the cities or in the suburbs or in Hollywood. There's so many kids out there that need help. And so what I like to do is I want to raise awareness and raise money to help these children. Nurse Morgan Helps.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Anita, can I bop up to you, babe?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm going to be looking to donate to the Greater Harrisburg YWCA, specifically their domestic violence services that they provide. So unfortunately, my mother passed back in April of this year, right before our pageant, and my mom worked for the YWCA of Carlisle and the United Way for about 25 years. So I'm wanting to do that in memory of her. So.
Love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Eileen, I'm gonna slide over to you, honey.
This way. All right. So I've chosen the NEPA Youth Shelter. I've done a couple bingo events with them, and what they do is they provide after-school programming for the homeless youth up in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area. They've recently just got a new property to be able to offer more assistance to more kids every day after school. And the whole board is all volunteers. So anything that I can do to help them is always a good day.
I think that's fabulous. All about the children too, right?
Always.
Alanis?
So for me, it would have to be NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So for me, I struggle with mental illness. I've struggled with it for most of my life. And I love being able to be a part of events and to be a part of a situation to be able to give back so that way future generations have the resources, have the help that they need. They don't have to go searching for it through other means. It's available, it's useful, it's in every local town. And that's one thing. I was able to DJ and perform at a drag brunch with a good friend of mine, Bodacious, outside of drag. Their name is Jesse. They work for the Dauphin County NAMI, and being able to raise money for them doing things in the Dauphin County area.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's something that I've struggled with most of my life. It's happened in my family, and being able to give back and help future generations have it a little easier than I did.
Sure, I agree. Mental health is very important, especially in this day and age.
Mhm.
So I appreciate everyone being vulnerable and sharing their charities and things with me today. And I think it's important because, like I said, the viewers are going to be choosing you. So I want them to know what they are helping to donate to as well. I know that I was going to say I'm going to stop at 37, but I just want to keep it rolling because I enjoyed talking to each and every one of you. I was wondering if I could just throw a curveball real quick. And I did ask about, possible questions that if we needed to have questions come up. Do you mind just selecting one little gem of a question, and we'll just go through some questions real quick for the 5 of us, and also maybe the viewers that are watching or the others tuning in, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Sure.
So Eileen, I'm going to put it right over to you.
So there was a question in the Facebook comments, and it was from Mikey, and he said that we have to try the giant chicken nugget Big Mac.
Is that a question or comment?
I guess it was more of a statement.
Hey. I'm there. It just, you know what, a little hot sauce and I'm good to go. Sriracha, just sign me up. I will. You know what? This is what we're gonna try when we're at the pageant day on our downtime.
Everybody's having sriracha.
That and the chicken. What is it? What is it?
The chicken Big Mac.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm there.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's delectable.
Okay, I missed. What was the question now?
So my question for you.
What is your question?
What is? Do you have any questions or a question?
What's for dinner?
For me right now, it's a turkey and ham sandwich right now.
Okay.
So, but as far as the pageant goes, give me a question about
the pageant goes. Okay, so interview, we can wear whatever we want, right? And we want our attire to match our personality.
I'm sorry, I was reading another question. Please ask the question again.
Okay, for interview, we can wear what we want, and it should match our personality.
As long as it is professional.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, and I think that's a fabulous question. It's a very good question, because what are you pointing at?
So I'm gonna wear this then.
That's fine, just as long as you can be professional, I guess.
Okay.
No, but in all seriousness, though, what I love about the system right now is that it's always evolving and it's always trying to go current, right? And there's so many different identifiers in the world today, right? And so what I love is that you can come into personal interview. It's not just male interview anymore, where everyone identifies however they choose to identify. So that's how you should wear. You should wear what you would want to wear to an interview. You're applying for a job. And so if you feel most comfortable professionally in a certain attire, wear it. But like I said, no matter what, just don't go distracting, meaning you don't want to wear something too wild that they're going to be paying attention to your look as opposed to what you're trying to say. Because in your personal interview, the biggest piece is that when you're Miss Gay Pennsylvania America, you are going to be engaging in with people. When you're Miss Gay America, you are going to be primarily engaging at events and talking to people and trying to build the system even more. So they want to hear that as opposed to seeing it. But I think there's nothing wrong with looking your part.
Okay.
It's a good question because it's something that could be a little controversial too. I agree. But just as long as you remember that it's business look and not too wild. Anita.
Oh, for me.
Hi,
So so I think what we do have a question in the comments right now that is a really good one that I think we should look at doing here from each one of us. But that one is by Ryan. He's asking what made each of us choose the America system to compete in. My question for you, and this is more so that I did a lot of research on this because America has been changing. It has been evolving. And one of the things that it has evolved on is its views on tattoos or visible tattoos, something that we haven't really discussed. When I first competed in Miss Gay America back in 2006, 2007, I didn't have any tattoos. Now I am like fully sleeved.
Sure.
So if you can talk about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll try my best to answer it the way that maybe the handbook would represent that because it is something very new. But the biggest take home from it is that, is it going to be distracting? Because say if we're talking about gown, right? And are they going to look at your sleeve of tattoos more than what they're looking at critiquing for your gown? If they are, and if your answer could be yes, then you got to think about like how could you maybe conceal a little bit more, or maybe put a big bracelet there that's sparkly, and then it kind of just makes it a little bit more in the background as opposed to. And I understand too, like when you have a big tattoo, I have a very huge one on my back that I was putting makeup on it, and it was getting on my dresses and things like that. So I've adjusted to what I'm wearing so it covers it up. So I can understand, like, do you need to put a whole sleeve of makeup on there? It just depends on what you think about, is it distracting or not? Because it's different for every judge is different, and every judge's feeling is different of what could be distracting. Now, obviously, if you have something on your arm that says something not okay, like very not professional, that would be something that I would say. And I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying in general. You would want to cover that up. All right. Yeah. So, like I said, it's still something new in the system, but I think if you just remember that take home, if it's going to be distracting, I would cover it up, me personally, because I would rather them see what I'm there for, because I don't want to lose any points. It's a point system, and you think you have that full max amount of points, and so that's just going to start plucking down. And if they're looking at my arm and they're not able to see my gown, I could lose some points.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a great question because it's something that continues to come up.
Yep.
And I know that when Desi Love Blake, Miss Gay America right now, does the orientation, she'll give a little more insight as well on that.
Perfect.
On November 16th. And you can get your tickets now down below. Trixie, my darling. Hi.
So my question is more outside of the actual pageant realm.
Okay.
Prepping for a pageant, I know takes a lot. How do you, now being in a relationship, also with another performer, how do you find time to be like, okay, we're still in a relationship while also prepping for a pageant?
So That's a great question. That's a great
That's your on-stage question, Miss Morgan.
and just to tag on that, you're allowed to take a deep breath before you answer a question on
Mhm.
stage, because the question does not get started to score until you start talking. Just so we know. And I'm taking my deep breath right now. That's why I'm talking. No, that's a good question. So I'm going to kind of spin the question a little bit, Trixie, if it's okay. So right now, I'm Miss Gay, Pennsylvania, America 2023, and I'll be sitting down, and someone will be taking the fabulous crown on November 16th. But I'm also wearing another crown for Miss Gay Delaware, America 2024. So I will be going to nationals this year. So right now, in the interim, myself and my partner who is Miss Gay Maryland, are going together to be competing. And I think it's very special, but also at the same time, we are both very focused on what we want to do. Because at the end of the day, and I'll actually answer, I don't want to get the name wrong. Is it Mark? Who was in the, Anita, who was in the chat asking?
His name is, the question is Ryan.
Ryan. I do apologize, Ryan.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak for Miss Gay Maryland, but the reason why I'm in the system is because of how wonderful the system is and how uplifting it is. So when I'm planning on prepping, that's channeling it. Like my passion for the system is keeping me focused, and I believe that their focus is the same. So it's all about just keeping organized and allowing for that downtime too, because it can be a lot of prep, and we've all seen it. We've all seen the prep, and taking that breath, taking that second is just very important. And whether you are competing for the America system with a partner or not, it's just important that you have a good support system around you, which is something that we have. It's important to have a good team. It's important to write lists and check it off. And it's important to read that handbook, because that's how you're going to lose points.
So you have to be Santa too.
You got it. and have a $6,000 weight.
Paperweight. Yep.
Yes.
All right. I know I kind of steered around the question, but it's very important to take time for yourself. Period. Point blank. All right, Alanis.
This is easier to ask the questions I'm not already prying myself at for doing this. But I guess for me, it's, especially for you, Morgan, who you've been in my shoes already, being brought into the state pageant and having only a handful of weeks to literally put everything together.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what advice would you give in that standpoint to be able to put a cohesive package together for your interview, all of that?
Sure. That's a great question, and I think it's a special situation that you're in right now. And this can be related to all the contestants that are competing, but more centered for you is that it's about always going with your gut instinct of what is authentically yourself and what your passion is. So I had no time to be like, okay, I want to create I wanted to try and look at my options, have a vision board, and this whole thing. No, I went for what my vision or my passion is. I created something with my passion. I had a good team around me, and I asked for help. And that was something that was very hard for me, because I don't like to ask for help, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable to rely on other people to get to the finish line. So that is my biggest advice: is write your list, go with your gut, and have a good support system, and ask for help. And that's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I was gonna do a couple more questions, but I think this is a good place to stop. I really appreciate everyone's time tonight. Y'all are absolutely fabulous, and you are what's making my dream continue, because Let's Get Down to Excellence is something that is my passion and my vision. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for spending time tonight out of your day to help me out, but also give the viewers a little bit of an insight of who you are and what flavor they're going to get to see at the Miss Gay Pennsylvania America pageant and at Soul Joel's, which is also called Sunnybrook Ballroom in Pottstown, and you get your tickets down below. But at this time, I'm going to have everyone bid adieu, and we'll wave goodbye and we'll bid adieu, and I'll see you on November 16th. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, Eileen, I want you to say goodbye to everyone.
Good night, everybody. I'm Eileen O'Brennan. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram at Eileen the PA Queen. And if you need to get yourself a fabulous little custom Eileen O'Brennan pin, yes, see that there? You just let me know. I'll get you one out so you can wear it to the pageant on November 16th.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Eileen. Thank you for coming. I love you. All right. Anita, I'm going to come to you next just because you're on the top next to me. Thank you so much, Anita, for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me.
All right. Thank you so much.
I look forward to hearing from you, and I can't wait to see you on November 16th. Why don't you say goodbye to everybody, and I'll bid you adieu.
Well, thank you so much, Morgan, and everyone that came on today. It was a great chance to chat with everyone, and I hope everyone comes out to November 16th for Miss Gay Pennsylvania America. And if you need someone to vote for the People's Choice Award, pick me.
I love that. Thank you so much, love.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
You too.
All right, Miss Trixie.
All right, like Morgan just said, I am Trixie DeFlair. If you do not see me at Lowe's in Hamburg, you can come see me. There's flyers and all that stuff about shows that are coming up, or you can come see us in November at Sunnybrook Ballroom in Pottstown.
I love that. Thank you so much, my love. I'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
All right. Last but certainly not least, Alanis Morsex, thank you so much for joining tonight. I know you were busy doing other fabulous things, so I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and at the last minute to spend a little time with me on my little Let's Get Down to Excellence episode. So I appreciate that so much. I'm going to have you say goodbye to everyone, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Alanis Morsex. If I'm not behind the camera doing photo shoots, then you can catch me at Miss Gay Pennsylvania on November 16th. Please come out and support me and everyone else. And just like Anita, if you need somebody to vote for People's Choice, remember me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, my love.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, everyone, there we have it. Another 4 contestants. So we have 8 contestants of the 14 covered. So I cannot wait for you to meet the next 4 on next Tuesday, October 29th, same time, 8:30 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time. Look out for the flyers so you're going to get to see who we're going to talk to next. If you haven't done it already, just hit that share button anyway, because I want people to see the fabulous contestants that we have competing on November 16th, but also I want more people to love the system because I just love the America system so much. Also, check out the website below. It's MissGayPennsylvaniaAmerica.com, where you can get merch, get tickets for the former review show on November 15th, as well as tickets for the big event on November 16th, which is the Miss Gay Pennsylvania America 2024 pageant. Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in tonight. It's been a pleasure, and I cannot wait to see you on October 29th. Have a great evening.